Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the Baseball Replay Journal. We've got another good one here for you today. As you can see behind me, it is evening where I'm recording this now. In fact, this is a little bit later than I wanted it to be. Some bad management for me of time on my own, but we'll get a little bit better with this as we move along. This is going to be a day game here between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. At least I presume this is the day game. Without any further ado, we will get straight on into it. So the reigning world champions are the team that I am going to be managing here. And we've got Bob Lemon back on the mound, and he faces George Kell, gives him a leadoff ball 2 right there. He goes 3-0 on Kell, and I look down there at the bases on balls, and just like everybody else in this season, there are a lot of walks, man. There's a lot of walks, but we get him to ground out to second base, or to shortstop, my apologies. And now this one from Johnny Groth is down to second. That's 2 away really quickly, just like that. Now, I know that those of you who have been watching, and I thank you for your patronage, have commented that we're missing a few things, right? You can see that we have the default Diamond Mine Baseball what we call this, the park diagram, as opposed to the nice color stadium picture. We also don't have the player pictures. I'm kind of old school, right? So I started playing Diamond Mine Baseball back in 2002. I was in high school then. My dad and I saved up and got the game. It's back when it cost, I think, about $70, $80 or so. So it was a major purchase for us. So I started playing back then and was used to playing it this way. I don't care so much for the bells and whistles. And so this is sort of the way that it's going to be, and this is the way that we're going to play it. I've tried it the other way. It doesn't really add much to me. If it adds a lot to you, then stick with it. Hootie Evers again. And we strike him out. Good strike out there by Bob Lemon. And here comes Larry Doby up to face Virgil Trucks, 32-year-old Virgil Trucks, who's been around in the major leagues for quite some time. And there's ball 2 to him, 2-1 count now on Doby. Doby's a good player, but wasn't able to get on base there. I think he had a better year in 48 than in 49. Lou Boudreau, the manager, and there's 2 away. Of course, I'm stepping in for Boudreau, as you know. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, down go the Indians. Anyway, yeah, some people kind of like that little graphical extra, as there's 1 away here in the top of the second. Personally, I actually don't care for it that much. But, you know, it's what everybody wants, whatever it is that makes you feel happy. For me, it really depends on the game. I spent time playing, for example, Football Manager, which is the famous European soccer game from England. With that game, if there were not the player photos, I would have a real hard time with it. I really need to see them there. But with these more text-based games, I'm okay not having them. Lipon there with the 2-out walk for the Tigers. We should probably pay some attention to what's going on. Ball 1 there to Neil Barry. Ball 2 now. 2-0 on Barry, and of course we give up the base hit. Runners in first and third now with Virgil Trucks coming up. I think we can get out of this inning. 1-1 now. Lemon looks he's a little bit wild. I was about to say 1-2 now, though. That one was called a strike, and then yep, we do get out of it. No damage done. Here comes Kennedy. Come on, Bob, let's get a hit. You might wonder a little bit about some of the lineups that we've come up with here. As I've explained on the blog, if you haven't visited it yet, baseballreplayjournal.substack.com, I'm using my own lineups. I'm not using real-life lineups. There are many reasons for that, and we'll go through them as we go along here. Trying to decide whether I want to hit and run with Peck. One of the things that marks 1949 is the abundance of double plays by every single team. This was the year that the Philadelphia Athletics turned 217 of them, if I got that number right, which is still the record for Major League double plays in one season. The problem, of course, with going for the double play is what we just saw there, or going for the hit and run, rather, is what we just saw there. We got out of the double play, but we got out of it because Joe Gordon swung and missed the pitch. Peck fortunately was able to steal, but as you can see here, his steal rating is poor, so it's always a gamble. Real life, he was 0 for 0 in stolen base attempts, which is why he has that poor rating. So boy, that was a real gamble, and it paid off for us. 1-1 now on Gordon, 2-1 now, and a strike on the inside corner that he disagrees with. Yeah. Let's see, a 2-2 pitch now. Ball 3. They're going to walk him. Now, Trucks comes in with a breaking ball, and Gordon swings and misses and gets that out, and so it goes. Well, boy, I hope that if you haven't watched it yet, that you go back, you watch the first game of this, because that was a dandy extra inning game between the Yankees and the Red Sox from Fenway Park. And you would think there would be a high-scoring game. It was not a high-scoring game at all, man. That game was just kept going and going and going. It's a little bit late here right now. It's later than I like it to be. But you know, I've got my hopes up that this game's not going to last quite that long. 2-0 now, 3-0 now in Groth. I think Lemon's going to lose him. Yep, Lemon loses him there, and we'll see if we can get the double play. They may put some sort of play on. Let's see what happens. 2-0 now. It's 2-1 pitch now. Now it's 2-2. And it's a little fly ball to center field, so that makes 2 away. I think we'll be able to get out of this inning as well. Peck just gets there. That fly ball by Hoot Evers. So Hoot Evers actually has been playing fairly well here at the very, very beginning of the season. As you can see, hitting .375 with that .545 on base percentage, 625 slugging percentage with a home run double, 3 RBIs, and I want to say he's had a couple of very, very clutch hits. I mean, I know that the game doesn't really measure the clutch ability of a player, but Evers has played quite well for Detroit, for a player that I bet most of you never heard of. And Hegan just misses a home run there by a foot, leading off. Little ground ball to shortstop, and that's 1 away. And here comes Bob Lemon. And 1-1 pitch. Yeah, Lemon's going to be late on that. I'm not surprised. Struck him out swinging. And this may wind up being another one of those games. Yep, no score after 3. Not just the home plate is untarnished. I hate to say this, boys, but we haven't gotten a hit yet. And boy, I sure hope that we get a hit one of these days. We have to get up to bat first. Lemon gets the strikeout, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts early here. You talk about your 3 true out baseball. We see little bits of that here in 1949. It's not as extreme. Really, when you look at baseball these days, what you're seeing is that there's a lot of strikeouts. That's the thing that really marks the game today. You look at baseball back in 49, you see a lot of walks. In fact, many more walks in 49 than you would see today. But there is a difference in that people... I mean, the strikeouts then are not even half the rate that they're at now. Speaking of walks, there's Lou Boudreau with a leadoff walk. This is one of the things that drives me nuts. So I'm the sort of manager who likes to run. I love to send guys running, and when I see poor here, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit and swing away. Not much we can do here. I guess we could bunt with Vernon. In fact, let's try that. Let's see what happens. Well, there goes the element of surprise. 2-1 pitch on him now. We're just going to swing away. Ball 3, and we'll take this pitch. I don't know why Diamond Mine loves having these throws to first base when it's 3-1. I don't understand it. Yep, Vernon does get that walk, and now with that walk, we have runners in first and second. This is probably the first sort of clutch moment of this game, and we'll see what Kennedy can do, huh? Still no hits for us, though. 0-2 pitch on him, and there's another one of those double plays. So it'll be interesting to see as we go along with this replay how many of those double plays that we get, because they're intentionally walking Peck with a runner on third, 2 outs to pitch to Joe Gordon. That is interesting. Al Peck, I guess it makes some sense because he's hitting a little bit a hair over 300, but I kind of come from that more modern school of baseball, the Tom Tango and the the book and stuff like that. If you know what I'm talking about, that basically says you don't intentionally walk hitters. It doesn't make sense. 1949 was different. There were many intentional walks. And there was a fly ball by Gordon to left field that ends it. In fact, the team that had the most intentional walks was the New York Yankees. Casey Stengel loved using that weapon, and that kind of set the tone for the 50s and the 60s, which were the big era of intentional walks in baseball history. Now, we don't know that for certain because we don't know exactly what intentional walks rates were like in the dead ball era, but if you think the guys were walking guys all over the place intentionally in the dead ball era, I think that you got another thing coming. I just don't see that happening. All right, 1-2 pitch now. Gordon goes to first base for the out. It's 2 outs, and here comes Kell. We're matching him sort of blow for blow here. And we're going to lose this guy. I think Lemon's going to give up walk number 4. Yep, and he does. That's one of those things about this season. I've written about this before on the blog. I don't know what it is that caused there to be so many walks in 1949. It's unusual, especially in the American League. I've read articles about it. I've engaged in debates with people about this on Reddit, and genius minds of Reddit, as you know, as we get out of that inning with a fly ball to left field. And I can tell you that I have yet to come up with any real answer. Here comes Keltner now. We better pay attention to this game. Let's see if we can get a base hit, huh? 1-2 pitch now. Trucks loses him that second one. Here's a base hit. Go for 3, and he got it. Keltner gets the very, very first hit of the game. Very first hit of the game for the Indians. And I told you we're going to have some excitement tonight, huh? You know that this is going to be good because this is the Baseball Replay Journal, and it's always good when you tune into what we've got for you. Oh, yes, sir. So as you've probably been able to tell, hopefully I'm still experimenting a little bit, trying not to do too many little notes and other things to myself, instead trying to keep the broadcast focused on the game itself. But I'm still going to take these screenshots of the play-by-play. And you know, the reason why I do that, of course, is because once this play-by-play is gone, it ain't coming back. It's one of those you missed it and you really missed it type of things. So we don't want to miss it. We want to keep it. And now comes one of those big clutch situations where we ask ourselves, okay, with Jim Hegan coming up, I mean, it's a 0-0 game in the bottom of the 5th. Keltner is not a great runner. We're going to look really quickly here to see what we've got. And we've got Al Rosen or Johnny Berardino. Berardino is an interesting last name. I don't think either of these guys are particularly fast. Let's see what this tells us. Yeah, I mean, Rosen might be a little bit faster. I mean, we're kind of losing something if we take Keltner out. Berardino looks like he would be better. I'm not sure he would be better in the field. We're not losing too much offensively, so we're actually going to do this. We're going to put Berardino in as pinch runner. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we're going to bunt, and we're going to do a safety squeeze. And now we just need Hegan to actually get it to stay fair. That is not what we wanted. Thank you, Hegan. Yes, we want to try for home. Let's see if we can get this. He's safe. Oh, my goodness. So I've got a couple of things to say there. But before I do this, I'm just going to go ahead and take this really quick screenshot. And here we go. There was a collision at home plate. That collision at home plate, by the way, is not actually, well, it may be part of the actual game call. But the injuries that result afterwards, that comes from Jack Wood, who created the play-by-play for this game. And this is the specialty play-by-play. And so this is hurt and cannot continue is not actually part of the game. In other words, the game, if I understand this right, is not going to force me to take either one of them out. Now, I'm not going to take them out, and the reason why, unless the game forces me to, the reason why is because if I start doing that for myself, I have to do it for the computer manager too if, say, the Tigers lose a player this way. You can do that here, right? If you go to game, change options, you can change the managers around and make that substitution. But the problem is that gives me a temptation to start managing in favor of myself, which is not something that I want to do. I want this to be a legitimate replay and not one of these things where, oh yes, you know, I've made this decision and, you know, you get to have this guy who hit like 100, you know, now in place of your star just because I said so. I mean, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. This is a legit replay. Yep. And what we got out, they got out of that inning, but boy, we definitely got a little bit extra. We'll see if Berardino can play well there at third. 0-2 now. Wirtz gets that base hit to open up the 6th inning for the Tigers. And now is that point in time in this game where I have to start really paying attention to what's going on, and the chit chat has to stop ending a little bit, because this is where Diamond Baseball kind of shines and is at its best. There's not a lot of strategic options here in the game. You know, there are other games that have more different options you can do with fielding, but Diamond Baseball is pretty good in terms of what it gives, the sort of strategy that you face. And if this game remains close, ooh, Lemon with a big strikeout. That's one away. Let's see if we can get Aaron Robinson hitting a double play. If this game remains close, we're going to get to the point where we have to ask ourselves questions about whether we want to take out the pitcher, you know, for a pinch hitter, and what exactly our plan is for that. 3-1 now, and boy, that's a big call. 3-2 now. Lemon not pitching so well today. I mean, only one hit, but lots, or 2 hits, I'm sorry. But here's walk number 5. And yeah, that's concerning. I mean, we're not going to necessarily like pull him at this point. I mean, if you care about the pitch count that much, it's only 92 pitches. You know, I personally don't care about it so much. But it is something to worry about when your starting pitcher is giving up 5 walks like that. All right, we need a double play ball here. Paul Campbell. Boy, 1949 must have been total torture for fans to sit there and have to sit through all these walks. Gordon, second to first, and oh, Campbell just beats it out. Boy, I thought we were out of that inning. And here we go. Lipon up, takes a ball and a strike. 1-2 now. Get him, Lemon. Yep, got him. Got him and good to go. Lou Boudreau, let's see how he does. Had a good year in 1949. We know about Boudreau, of course, in 48. It's pretty famous. The thing is that the 49 Indians were not a bad team. This is a team that finished third place, of course, to the Red Sox and Yankees, who were neck and neck all year. This is not a bad team. There were a lot of sports writers before 49 who thought that this team would be good, and they did have a good season. You know, it's just that nobody remembers who finished second, right? Well, definitely nobody remembers who finished third. Vernon with that base hit, and now comes time for strategy, right? We can bunt with Kennedy. That would bring up Peck. Let's do that. I would say either hit and run or bunt. We hit and run once already, right, with Vernon. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't with Vernon. Who was that with? We hit and run once with these guys, with one of these guys. I worry about this. I worry about that bad steal rating. Let's bunt. Late in the game, let's bunt. You got to hit the ball to bunt successfully, right? Bunts it to the Hal Peck, who is on deck. Thank you very much. All right. Well, so much for that. And call strike 3. And no swing by Kennedy. Thank you. Boy, Trucks is pitching well. Trucks is having one of those games, isn't he? He's safe because we're not trying to steal Peck now. And there's a foul ball. I'm telling you, man, this replay has had so many games just like this. So many of these tight games. So many games so far that are tight up in the extra inning or in the late innings. It's been so much fun to play. This is why I'm so happy to play this with you. And oh my gosh, that's a big play. That's a big play by Kell with a runner on first base. Usually when you see this play-by-play, it's an out. Whenever it's not an out, then it's something to remember. And yeah, poor Peck. That's what happens, you know. Did this show up or not? I may have hit the wrong button. All right, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Looks like we've got a little bit of a problem. There it goes. All right. And I have not frozen. Okay. We are still going, I believe. So I'm rendering a video at the same time as this, which might kind of be the source of some of these problems. And I'm not showing that we got that screenshot. And let's try this again, huh? My apologies for the wait, as things are going a little bit topsy-turvy here on the computer. I do think that this is probably because I'm trying to render a video at the same time. My apologies for the slight delay. We'll get you right back to the action. Here we go. Top of the 7th inning for Detroit. I shouldn't try to do too many things at once, huh? It's been a little bit challenging today. We've had a pretty big Saturday, a lot of going around with the family. Barry gets that first at bat hit. Is pretty bad announcing, isn't it? Barry gets a hit there for the as a leadoff hitter in the top of the 7th inning, and we are getting to that point in this game where everything is clutch and important, and where we need to worry about Trucks perhaps bunting. So we're going to go in on the corners on him. Hope that he can't bunt well. Yeah, he's not going to bunt very well at all. They just keep that bunt on, and boy, Lemon with the big strikeout. 5 strikeouts now for Bob Lemon. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. George Kell now. Lazy fly ball to right field. We're going to get out of this inning. You can feel it. And 1-1, no, 2-0 now on Groth. Don't walk him, Bob. 6th walk of the day for Bob Lemon. Okay. 5 straight balls, 6 straight balls. Yeah. Lemon's supposed to have very, very good fatigue rating. You'll notice I'm not walking Evers, which would be the by the book move. I should have taken a quick snapshot there of that where it's double. I was thinking too much about trying to get out of this inning. Anyway, no problem at all. No problem at all. We will compensate for that. A little bit of user error on my part. That happens from time to time, and you make kind of a silly mistake, and you think, "Oh yeah, whoops, I forgot to do what I normally would do in this situation." I was about to say that, Lemon comes in with pretty good fatigue ratings, which you would normally expect to mean that, he's not going to end up walking everybody in sight, but not necessarily. Diamond Mind has a lot of randomness, and so you will see interesting things happen. All right, leadoff hit there for Joe Gordon. Leadoff hit for Gordon, and we have good things afoot, and let's get those rally caps on, and let's see how it goes, huh? Alrighty, so runner on first base, nobody out. Here we have Berardino up. He has the ability to bunt, not really the ability to hit. I don't want to take that risk with Joe Gordon. It was Gordon. It was not Gordon. I can't remember who it was that got that stolen base today. Gordon does have a stolen base in the season, but I'm not going to risk it here. I tend to actually be pretty conservative. The computer's looking for bunt. You got to get the bat on the ball, and we need to go back to spring training, I think, to work on our bunting skills. Now you don't want to run, because if you run and he misses it, you got to strike him out, throw him out, and that's not what you want to see. Trucks with only 100 pitches so far. And Berardino with that speed just barely beats out that double play. And here comes Jim Hegan with 1 out. Only 1 out. I made a mistake. I should have looked before going forward. Well, I don't think the Lemon's going to get his first hit of the game, but you never know. He actually looks like he hit pretty well for a pitcher in 1949. Let's see if he walks. Well, he should have walked. I should have told him not to swing. All right, first and second now. Larry Doby coming up, 0 for 3 today. Having a great year so far. Let's see what happens. Again, there's not too much to choose from with 2 outs. You just got to move forward. Go, baby, yes! Ho, 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 ho. 4-1. Clutch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we like to see. Now all we need to see is Bob stay in there. We'll pull this one out. Excellent home run by Larry Doby. All smiles in Cleveland. And let's keep pushing forward. Wirtz makes a terrific catch, but it's a little bit too little too late, isn't it? And with this kind of day, just take a quick look at that weather. I mean, it's a somewhat chilly day. 57 degrees isn't that bad, actually. That's pretty good weather. That kind of weather, I go outside. We have, here in the community we live in, we have outdoor basketball hoops. And this kind of weather, 57 degrees, I'd be out playing basketball. It's a little bit nicer than middle of January. And Berardino gets that out. Looks like a pretty smooth fielding third baseman. Not too bad, this kid. I say kid, I don't even know how old he is. 32, you know, some kid. This is what happens when you play with these old seasons and you're not entirely sure who is who, and the deficiencies in your historical knowledge become very, very obvious because you're talking to other people about this. You know how it goes. Full count now on Lipon, and I'm not certain that Lemon's going to be able to complete this game. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. One of those moments, man. One of those moments. You got to have moments like that, don't you? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. Oh, man. I tell you, the way that this play-by-play is presented, even if you're playing quickly like I am, and we're just like, okay, let's get this done with, let's get this done with, it's time for bed, it still just gets you. Yeah, Lemon's all over the place here today, and I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What would you do, right? We always say, you know, subscribe, hit the like button, but really leave a comment. Seriously, leave a comment. Let me know, what would you do? What would you do in this situation? Do you take Lemon out? Do you, I mean, you know, do you leave him in? Do you try to get him forward, you know, and see what happens? 6 strikeouts, but 7 walks, 137 pitches, you know. Only have 1 out right now. But this is my question, right? You can put Gromick in. Maybe that's what we should do, put Gromick in. Don't really want to take Lou Boudreau out of this game. Let's do that. Let's put Gromick in. Let's put Gromick in and see what happens. Might as well. Early April, April 23rd. Let's have some fun. They counter with Wakefield. I'm going to be honest with you. I know I haven't talked in the blog much yet about platooning. I think the platooning is kind of overrated. I do. And I think that there's a little bit of overthinking it that goes on. Strike 3, and he just looks and strikes out. And boy, is a clutch situation in this game. And see, they leave Trucks in, and Trucks gets the base hit. My goodness. Of course, 2-out base hit for Trucks. And man, this is one of these games. This is one of these games that just, you know, will leave you just wanting to rip your hair out, man. Bob Levin getting 7 walks and giving you 7 walks in 7 2/3 innings. And and the pitcher gets a hit to load the bases here with 2 outs. And I'm looking at Gromick thinking, why can't I go visit the mound in this game? I want to dog with him. Oh, man. Mickey Vernon makes the grab, and that does that, and we're going to face some Dizzy Trout. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a game. I tell you, there's nothing like Diamond Mine Baseball. There's nothing out there like this game. This is amazing. This is amazing. The intensity, the tenseness that you feel, and the worry that you have. I know it's 4-1. I know that we're winning, you know, but still, you had the, you know, go-ahead run up to bat after, you know, giving up a hit to the pitcher. I don't know, man. Go. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is one of those plays. This is one of those plays that we want to keep hold of. if you haven't visited my blog yet, you know, you can go check it out again, Baseball Replay Journal at Substack.com. Go check out the blog. I have some posts about good Diamond Mine baseball play-by-play, and you'll see some of these examples of them show up there. I mean, the play-by-play in this game is better than anything I've seen from any other baseball game. One out now, and here comes Vic Wertz again. Let's see if we can get him out this time. And that's really the thing, is Wertz grounds out to second. That's the thing that makes this game special and makes it different from other games. Play-by-play in this game is absolutely superb. It's just exquisite, and the throw to first is in time. And it turns out to be a relatively routine victory for the Cleveland Indians, 4-1. Take care of the Tigers, but you wouldn't know that if you'd watched it, would you? Anyway, thank you very much for joining us today. Once again, you like this, leave a like, subscribe. You'll see a video every day if all goes according to plan. And, you know, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would do in some of these clutch situations. And while you're at it, come visit us, baseballreplayjournal.substack.com. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you tomorrow.